no more worries. Got no more time for loving you. No, they're coming to get me tomorrow. Got no more time for loving you. Oh, they're coming to get me tomorrow. Got no more time for loving you. No more pain, no more worry. I got no more time for loving you. If you ain't tired of me yet, baby, have you still got time for loving me? I wanna know if you ain't tired of me yet, baby, have you still got time for loving me? Oh, all this pain, all in me. Got no more time for love. summer night, a shot of love and a spark of love to breathe. The stars align and the month times night burn like a dried out leaf. Are we leaving on the next train, baby? I do believe. Come on, let's ride this train. Come on, let's ride this train. Now I ain't missed a 9 to 5, I don't hear it in my song. I'm gonna pull my weight, don't get me wrong. Brand new start and a whole new part, they are big old shoes to fill. I'll be there on that platform, babe, you know I will. Come on, let's ride this train. Come on, let's ride this train. Now nothing is this rush of life, you'll never find its match. So you live to be a million movies. All hearts are lost by default in the time of a single deed. We're leaving on the next train, babe, so take your seat. All right. Come on, let's ride this train. Yeah, come on, let's ride this train. Oh, come on, let's ride this train. Oh, come on, let's ride this train. Let's ride this train now.
Good evening, everyone. Today it is July the 16th, 2025, and I was just writing in the chat over on the Rumble side. Jim just popped in over on that side over there. Okay, so I hope everybody is doing fine. Let me see who we got in here tonight. We got Ray Bartleson popped in here. Very first thing. My goodness, look at that. And then Union Pacific Ontario Industrial. Okay, and then Jim Tedesco. Jim Tedesco is on both YouTube and Rumble. Okay, there you go. And let me see what I did over here. This is what I wrote over on Rumble. I've been getting, waiting for the person that claims that they can grow my channel. I keep getting messages on all my videos saying that, you know, we have this plan that we can grow your channel. So in the past couple of ones, I said, well, come on the live stream and tell me about it. So I've been waiting for them to come on to my live stream and tell me about it. So we'll be, I'm waiting for you here. You know, you say you watch all my videos and stuff like that. So let me know. Let me see you in here. Okay. Either that, you know, and then after a couple of days, those messages get deleted. Most of the time, I just mark them as spam on there. But the last couple of ones, I wanted to see if they would ever show up. Okay, here, let me get rid of that. Okay, so if you haven't done so already, smash that like button there. All right, smash that, but do it gently so you don't hurt yourself. I don't want you to hurt your fingers or anything like that when you push on that or smash it or do anything with that like button there. All right, so I sent an email to Rumble support because in the past, I say about month, I've been hearing, everybody on the live stream saying how much trouble they were having with Rumble. So I sent them an email telling them everything that I heard from you guys in the past month or so on the live streams. Like you can't access it. It's too many times that you have to refresh, or freezes up too much, or you can't access it, or the link doesn't work, or like Sparky said last week, he went to my channel and clicked on the thing and it didn't work. And somebody said that they couldn't even get on because Chrome browser blocked them. So I put this up here. I put this in the description. If you're having issues with gaining access or buffering, freezing, or any other issues with Rumble, please send them an email to let them know what's going on. Use your email that your account was created with. If you don't tell them, it won't get fixed. It'll never get fixed. Support@rumble.com. I'll leave that up there for a little bit. They responded to me. Well, anyway, if you send an email and complain, they'll send you an email right back saying that we received your email, and someone will contact you within 24 hours. And in the meantime, here's a 1 month free of Rumble Premium. So at least you do that, you'll get a free month of Rumble Premium. They give you a link to a month worth of Rumble Premium. So it's probably worth complaining. Complain a couple of times and get a couple of months. The more you complain, the more Rumble Premium you'll get. So support@rumble.com. If you had any kind of problems with Rumble, if it's freezing up, you can't get access to it, it doesn't work on your cell phone or anything like that. Like I have problems with it every once in a while, not being able to get it on my cell phone. And even, and I got to send them a couple of more emails because here over on Rumble Studio, the last time I had the live stream on Monday, I was trying to type on my chat here in Rumble Studio, and it didn't show up. So I did it again, and it didn't show up that it was on there. So I had to go on my cell phone and look at it, and there it was twice. So I'm typing away. It doesn't show up on here, but it shows up in the chat on, in the live stream, but I can't see it. So, and then I just typed something in here a little while ago. So that's another thing that I could complain about. But since I already got Rumble Premium, I guess it doesn't work unless they'll give me a month free and won't charge me. How about that? Maybe that'll work that way. Maybe they won't charge me for 1 month. Okay. Hey, Jeff's Trains World. How you doing? Good to see you in here. Okay, here we go. There we go. Here it is. Hello, everyone. Okay, all right. So I was just telling, well, I'll put this up a couple of times. As you're having issues with gaining access or buffering, freezing, or any other issues with Rumble, please tell them an email and let them know what's going on. Support@rumble.com. All right. There you go. I'm doing good. I'm just talking about, I was complaining to them, and they sent me, either if you don't have an account with Rumble, get on Rumble and then send them an email to that support@rumble.com and complain about something, and they'll give you a free month of Rumble Premium. And there's Ken Amos Jr. How you doing over there on the Rumble side? Glad you can make it in there. I was busy working on building for the train layout. All right, good to hear. Okay. Let me do it like this. I can do it like this from Rumble here. I don't have to keep on going back and forth. Okay. All right, there you go. And where did I see the other one? And there it is. Ken Amos over there on that side, and Jim is over on the Rumble side also. Okay, so there you go. All right, so here's my schedule. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. all on Rumble. On Wednesday, I'm also on YouTube, like you can see me right here. Follow me on Rumble, click the bell notification, and see you there. The one thing about Rumble is they actually notify you. If you follow somebody, you could go on in your dashboard and you could choose when you want to get notified. If you want to shut it off, you could say none. If you want to get daily, you could click on daily. Hourly, or I don't know, I can't remember. It's immediately, daily, or weekly, or something like that. So that's how it works there. Okay. I got the dinosaurs battling on the trestle. There you go. I hope they don't knock the trestle down. I was at the train show, and a guy had a lot of HON3 stuff. I mean, he had rail, he had turnouts that he made himself, he had trestles galore and bridges, and then he had one little box there for trestle in parts. He wanted $35 for it, and he says his cat got to it. And I told him that's why I don't have cats. When we was at the other house, we was thinking about getting an animal, and I said, well, I don't want a cat just because of that. Check out my layout. There you go. All right. So there you go. Okay, so I'm going to say a big thank you to everybody that is subscribed to me on YouTube and on Rumble. Everyone that supports me with this thing right here. You can now support me on my locals community, Tom's Train of Thought. Membership is free, and you can support me for as little as $2 a month now. Just $2 a month. Link is in the description and in the chat. Thank you for your contributions during the live stream. I really appreciate it. I would also like to thank all the moderators who have helped me out in the past years. Thank you very much. Just like that guy said, thank you very much. And Kenny Amos Jr. says, cats and dogs are not allowed anywhere near my trains or printing and laser equipment. Yeah, I can understand that. Yep, they not allowed. All right, so, okay. Yeah, I don't blame you. And Jeff says, I tried Twitch, Rumble, and other apps, and none worked for me. Too many issues, plus it costs too much for lack of interest. Rumble doesn't cost you a damn thing. It's free. And I'm streaming from Rumble. So this is going from Rumble out to YouTube. So there's no issues there. And you could even join Rumble for free and then get a free month if if you have any issues. Tell them what your issues are, and at the support at rumble.com, and they'll give you a free month of Rumble Premium. So there it is, support at rumble.com. Okay. All right. So I'm going to push that tonight because you can get a free month of Rumble Premium out of that. So, and they said, let everybody know that is having issues, because they'll answer them individually, because they wouldn't address them with me just telling them. So I'm just going to have to go and tell them what my issues are, because I said I'm having the same issue, but they ignored that part of it. So they just looked at the, things that I said about everybody else, and they wrote back that said, let them know, and they will address each one of them individually. And use the account, use the email that you signed up for with your account, and they'll get back with you immediately. And, and like I said, they'll send you an email right away saying that they received your support claim, and somebody will get back with you within 24 hours. And in the meantime, here is a free month of Rumble Premium. So there you go. All right, so we got that out of the way. Okay, so let me show you what's on the workbench right now. We'll get to that in a little bit, but we got to do some train show stuff first. But there's the workbench cam. That's what's currently on the workbench. And I've been doing a lot of stuff in the last couple of days, and I'm ready to go on to the next step and open up bag letter E on there. We just finished D, and that was those two coal dumps in there, and that little thing with only 5 little steps in there was the most aggravating thing on there, because well, you'll see in the videos that I showed you, because I could not find it on the drawing. It took me hours to find where they were talking about, and I started cutting pieces. Well, you'll see it. I won't get too far into it, but that is what's on there, and we'll do some stuff on there a little bit later on. And you probably got an echo because I forgot to shut the echo off on that thing. Okay, so major thunderstorm here, power on and off, so might end up dropping out. Okay, that's all right. We just had, like at 5:30, the wind was blowing like crazy, and I'm waiting for this big old storm, and I think about 5:47, boom, the rain started coming down, and it came down for 30 seconds, and that was it. And no more wind or anything like that. And then like about 10 to 7, whenever I started up the stream, it started raining again. And it by the time I got started at 7 o'clock, it quit. So that was our rain for today. Not very much. And then Debbie goes on her cell phone and she gets these apps. I'm going to have to look it up and see where she's getting it, because they're always showing disturbance out in the Gulf of America, and it shows the whole area affected by the storm, and it covers all of Florida. So I don't see this now, so I'm going to have to go on the National Hurricanes or National Weather Service to see what's going on, to see if there's anything on there, because I don't see it. This is just normal summer weather, and that seems kind of bright, doesn't it? Let me see something here. I got the thing turned down a little bit. Let me do a little deal here. Darken this a little bit. How's that? There we go. Is that better? There we go. That looks a little bit better. I was all washed out and everything. There you go. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So I had to get out the little Logitech thing and change the Dumaflachi there. Okay, so let's do some train shows here, like right now. All right, I got trainshows.net up here, and I got the United States up here. Well, last week Sparky said he was going to submit his meet and greet up there, and so far I haven't seen it. Let me see. Let me check it today. September. No, they don't have anything for August. So recent additions. We'll go over there to recent additions. And that's USA, 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 New Zealand, USA, 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 all USA, Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, USA. I don't see anything for Canada in there. There's July, August, El Depot Annual Train Show, August 13th, but it doesn't give a location. Oh, Johnson Reception Hall. That's in Iowa. Okay. So I guess they didn't put his thing up in there. I don't see it here anywhere. That's a shame. Manual shift. I ain't going to open up that shift shit. Okay. So anyway, trainshows.net got a lot of train shows on there. Don't have too much in Florida in the summertime, but the only big thing is in July 19th and 20th. I guess that's this weekend. I guess all this week then, NMRA is having the convention, but 19th and 20th is when they have the train show that's open up to everybody in Novi, Michigan. And I think Jeff Sykes says he was going to be up there, and also Mini Prince is going to be at Novi at the NMRA convention. So that's the only thing really pertinent on here, unless you're in California or Massachusetts, because there's Pennsylvania, Oaks, Pennsylvania. Here's Wheaton, Illinois, Great Midwest Trains, but that's coming up over here because we got this right here that has all the Wheaton, Illinois, trainshows.com. It has Greenberg Great Train Show and show at Oaks, PA, Greenberg Great Train and Toy in Monroeville, Great Midwest Train Show, Wheaton, Illinois, Greenberg Great Train Show, Edison, New Jersey, Chantilly, Virginia, Great Train Show. Click here to purchase tickets. Click here for information. Click here for 2 exhibits. And here's all the things for Great Midwest Trains, Greenberg, and Great Train Shows going all the way out to March of next year. So that's trainshows.com, not to be confused with trainshows.net, which was what this one was. This was trainshows.net. Okay, so let's go on to the next one here. This is Train Collectors Association, Southern Division. Okay, this is the O scale and bigger stuff. If you got all that big stuff on there, that's what they got on here. So let me see. All right, so Lake Nona, Orlando. We went to a train show in Lake Nona, but I don't think it was this one here. But we did go to the Port St. Lucie one that they had a couple of months ago, and it was a pretty good show. I was surprised. I thought it would just be, O, S, O, and G scale, but they had some HO and N scale stuff, and ran into a lot of people that knew me there. They watched the videos on YouTube. So there you go. We might go to that one. Might have to look up the one in Lake Nona. But let me see. Upcoming Florida meets. Let me see. That's the Volusia. That's already gone. August 16th is Regal in Pinellas Park. September 6th is the train show. Ozon Shrine Center, West O'Galley Boulevard, Melbourne, Florida. That's the one we're going to go to and get some more. Get at least another Campbell's kit. Maybe we'll have some new stuff that I could browse through, because I just picked one up from the guy in D-Land, and he had these at the Melbourne show, but I only got one at the Melbourne show. That's the one I'm working on now. But it is the Telk Factory. So when I go back to the Melbourne show, he'll have some new ones, and he is selling them for a hobby shop someplace. So that's going to be interesting. And then September 13th, Hernando County Fairgrounds. That's another Regal Railway. September 20th is the Villages. That's a good one, and I got that coming up on another thing. And October 4th, another Volusia County one. That is D-Land. And October 9th through 11th, Ocala Hilton, 9th Annual Convention, NMRA Sunshine Region Org. So that's the NMRA Southern Division at in Ocala, Florida. So I'm not sure if that's the one that they have at the Lions Club or not. So I'll have to check that out. And then October 23rd, Eastern Division York Meet, Purple Hall. So that, well, I'm trying to get up for Timonium. So, oh man, that's the same weekend as Timonium. So they got the York and the Timonium on the same weekend. Holy shit. That's not good. All right, so let's go to the next one here. Okay, this is Railfan and Railroad. They got a lot of good stuff on here. Novi, Michigan is the big whoop-de-doo here. They used to have both of them, the convention and this one here. They just have the train show listed now. La Crosse, Wisconsin, Adams, Massachusetts. They got stuff from all over the country on this one here. And that's your friends at Railroad Model Craftsman right there. Or Model Railroad News, or Railfan and Railroad, or Rail Place Magazine. I think, is that White River? Yeah, that's White River Productions. Okay, so. And then here's NMRA.org. They got the convention, but they don't have too much information on here usually. And then Suncoast Model Railroad Club. They have one in December. They used to have one in October, but they cut that one out. So this one is December 6th at Pinellas Park Performing Arts Center. And then their Model Railroad Club is in Largo, not too far from there. There's Performing Arts Center. You go down this road here. You go right there. It's in a little industrial warehouse thingy. Where they got the rows of warehouses in there. So they got a couple of the units in there. And they got N scale and HO scale. Always good stuff. They got some good cookies. And Robert Sacco like to see. He says hi and gives you a big bear hug. Okay. Oh, I got two of them up there. And then Bushnell Station. No train shows, but they have an open house every Saturday from let me go back. Okay, I missed it. 9 to 4, 10 to 4. Okay, open Saturdays from 10 to 4. It's on the bottom there. Okay, I thought it was on the thing, but it's right there. It doesn't move. Okay, they got a great gift shop there. They have what is it? LGB and Markland. They're the biggest distributors for LGB and Markland in the state of Florida. They have a good snack bar right there. and they have a lot of good layouts right there. That one right there came out of Suncoast Center for Fine Scale Modeling, and that one right there, that little house, or not house, but that room right there came out of the museum in Plant City. It was about to fall in, not to be confused with the one that's still there, but they had another one, and they took it out and replicated it there before, it collapsed altogether because they couldn't have any more people in there. Okay, so what do we got here? Boom. All right, okay. I thought I missed something on there. Okie dokie. All right, so, and they got 7.5-inch gauge right there. 2 locomotives, and it's a half a mile train ride. And they just built a new building that has 4 new layouts in it. One from the Villages, the N-scale layout that represents Wildwood, that is right outside the Villages. It's a big CSX yard there right now, but it was even bigger back in the 50s. They have it, a representation of it from back in the 50s. They used to have it at the Villages train show, but they moved it up there and they built another layout. And they got a couple of other HO scale layouts in the same room. And I think there's a G scale one from St. Louis Children's Hospital. I mean, it's behind glass and it, just goes around in a circle. Big display and then one down low. G scale. I think it's G scale or maybe it's O scale. Can't remember. But it's nice. All behind glass because they had it on display at the Children's Hospital in either Chicago or St. Louis. I'm not sure which one it was. So that is what I got for Bushnell. What else do we have here? And then there's the Regal Railway one. Regal Railways will take orders for Atlas, Bachman, and Cotto. He has his own train shows every month around Florida, and he also goes to all the train shows. I've seen him there at Melbourne. I've seen him there at D-Land, and I don't know if he was at the Villages or not. I'm not sure if he's able to get it. There's, from what I understand, there's a big waiting list for the Villages. Did I have the Villages up there? Did I have their... What happened to their webpage? Okay, hold on a second. The Villages Model Railroad Club. Okay, there we go. There we go, vendors. Here we go. Okay, so September 20 and 21st. So they got a lot of good stuff up there at the Villages. So let me move this thing over here, where it normally is, right around in here. Okay. All right, I had to move it over the tabs. Okay, so, and hopefully one of these days they're going to open up the Buc-ee's that is on Interstate 75. The Florida Turnpike comes up this way, and you get off the Villages right here, and there's where I-75 is. Well, right above that is where they're supposed to put a Buc-ee's. So maybe someday we'll see a Buc-ee's when we go up to see the Villages. Probably not in September, but hopefully the next, well, they have one in December, and I think they also have one in February. December 1 is the one that they have just the train layouts where they got Santa Claus and all that stuff in a different building. Yeah, in Colony Rec Center, they usually have these for the kids and stuff like that. Can't bear to wait for the train show. All right, so let's go back to that one there. All right, so that's enough of the train shows. If you have one, put it in the chat. If not, well, I guess you won't. Okay, so we did it. Well, before we do that, let me do something. I'll show you what we've been doing in the yard. Okay, so I've been busy. Model railroading is not the only thing I do. I work out in the yard every morning before I do anything else, even before I do breakfast. I usually go out there for like 2.5 to 3 hours, weather permitting. If it's cloudy, it's better because it's cooler. But when it's hot, I cut it down short. But it's been pretty good. It's still July, but still getting some time out there. So here's what we've been doing the past. Well, let me show you what I did. This goes back to the end of June. I think I showed this on Monday. I'll show this to you again. It's a short one. It's 4 minutes, but it gets you updated on what I've been doing. And then I got another one. We got this black diamond crepe myrtle at Frank's Nursery 2 years ago for $6. Can you believe that? That's looking good. Didn't think it would bloom like this, but this is the first year it bloomed. Looking good. And that is a crepe myrtle that's in the backyard. Well, finally get to relax and don't know what to do now. I walked around the house, filled up all the bird feeders, looked at everything, took some pictures, and we're getting ready to go to eat.
That's the woodpecker.
I'm bored. We don't have anything to do. The little baby woodpecker before the other one scares them away. There you go.
He's so tiny.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Ain't figured out how to get the food yet, huh? He's taking his good old time. There you go. Well, we had 4 ducks and they just left. Well, it's ugly looking grass, but it's something.
Yeah. That's okay.
I extended the patio out 2 more pavers and trimmed it with the brick, and then my neighbor had a bunch of these pavers, and I got about 20 of them, and he's got a bunch more, and I'm going to continue with it and put it over on this side over here. But now that I got that, the other thing I've been doing is over on that side, I put a new planting bed in the 7 plants that I got. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plants over there. And then I got that little tree, I'm not sure what it's called. The lady at Frank's Nursery didn't know what it was called either. But then I put the round, or the big pavers around that one, and then the gray bricks around this one here. All right. While that thing was going, I could hear music in the background, but I don't have anything else playing. Okay. It's weird. Okay. So that was working up to a couple of days ago, but then here was yesterday and today.
Some more root.
All right, here we go. Not too much more.
You did a good job this morning.
We'll shovel this up into the garbage cans. I don't think any more will fit. That's enough for today. I got all this out.
All right.
This thing is hard right there.
Man,
That's it. I planted these bushes a few days ago with these little flowers on it, and the sparrows have been eating the flowers like they've been going out of style, like they hadn't eaten in over a week. So we had to get these pinwheels today. This one right here, most of them are gone. Half of them are gone over there. This one's not too bad, but that one's half gone over there too. So went all over the place looking for them. Nobody had them. Finally found them at Dollar Tree, and then we got these ones over here. They don't seem to be turning. But this is what we did late last week. Did this whole thing because there was 2 tree trunks a guy cut a couple years ago. That right there, it's still covered with the fabric, and the other one was right here. They were just trunks that were about 3 foot high, but they kept on sprouting. And so finally I cut everything off, chopped everything off, and with the axe, and I planted this, and there are my yardsticks that I used for my painting small parts. So I'm gonna have to go back to Lowe's and get a couple more yardsticks. And then this over here, I've been chopping this back. This is where the 19 palm trees were that the guy cut out 4 years ago. And eventually this has been going slowly but surely. And yesterday I cut the rest of it out like that. I got 2 garbage cans full, and this is the rest that didn't fit in the garbage cans. Hopefully they pick it up today. All right, we got Streamline over here on Rumble. Broke down and bought a small 3D printer for layout, clutter, and just finished a 1970 VW van since Woodland Scenics don't make them. All right. Good to hear. All right. I'm loving this thing. It's about 6 HO scale wheelbarrows. All right, there you go. You're gonna go crazy with that thing now, aren't you? All right, so okay, so let's see what we did. I put together a little bit last Monday. After I showed some video, went over to the workbench and was over there for a little bit over an hour. So I recorded what was on there, but I cut that down, condensed it into about 20 minutes here so you could get a review of what it is, and then to see what I did after that. So here we go. This part right here gave me so much trouble on that. Not that. This right here. These 2 braces right there. And for some reason, it's not square. I mean, I followed the template completely, but when I put it in here, this side was about, I'd say, a 1/16 of an inch off over here on this side, so I had to pull it out. But you probably won't notice it. You just notice it if you look down like this on it down here because this is bent a little bit. So, and we're not going to worry about it because these two things travel inside there, and I don't think it's going to be movable. I hope not. I haven't read that far into the directions, but that's what we got to work on next. These two things right here. Here's the bag right there, and it says, and they put the wrong number on here. It says cut the 4 bucket dump frames 2 pieces from 1/32 by 3/32 wood using figure 2. So figure 2 is over here, and I went through this whole damn thing. That there ain't no place on here, so they probably meant figure 6 right here. That's right underneath it, because I got to cut, I hope, 2 pieces each, so 4 altogether, that small, 1/32 by 3/32. That's these little pieces right here. So I got plenty of them up here left over from the last step. So let's open up D, and there's a lot of brads in there too. Tweezers are good with fat fingers. Yeah, there you go. I like to use the magnet wire. It's enameled coated copper to be the bare wire. Looks like conduit. Yeah, I got a lot of that these wires right here, all different kinds. And then this right here is the coil wire, the motor wire right there. Yeah, that magnet wire right there. 2 different kinds right here. Got it from Remington. That's 40, and I'm not sure what this is. Oh, this is 26 gauge. I come prepared for everything. Alright, so let's dump this out. Oop, one more. Okay, D. So here is the forms for the bucket. They cut it out real nice for you right there. Not too many sticks in this one here. There's 4 of these. And then that. Oh my goodness, got some little shits here. There's my little tweezers over here, right over here. Okay, we'll put these over here. These look like the same. And this one is, that one's L-shaped. That one's L-shaped. This one's L-shaped. Okay. So that one's L-shaped. So we got 4 of them L-shaped. And when I was at the train show, they that one guy that I got all the scratch building stuff from, he had 2 pieces of roof trim, not the ridge line for you know, like a regular roof, but like on a factory roof. It was like that in wood. I was gonna get it, but I already had a bunch of stuff. But he said he'll be back at the next train show in D-Land. He got a bunch of stuff from his, I guess he said brother-in-law or something that passed away in Virginia. And he had a big 3-car garage with a lot of stuff in it. A lot of scratch building stuff. He had a lot of kits that he built, a lot of buildings and all kind of stuff, but no layout. Can you believe that? Yeah, yeah, I have a lifetime supply of the wire, that's for sure. You know, you just can't buy just a little bit. Let's say, okay, so cut the 4 bucket dump frames, glue these in place, cut 2 bucket dump floors from the 1/32 gang plant. Okay, this is the gang plank right here. That's the floor for the bucket. Glue these in place. Oh yeah? Each one, okay, 30 seconds long and 5/16 wide, and glue them into the bucket dump frame against the plate timber as in figure 2 and 7. Okay, where's figure 7? Okay, here's figure 7. Okay, so there's 7. Bucket trip. So I don't see it. There's figure 7. Here's figure 6. But there is nothing on figure 2. This is figure 2 over here. There's nothing there. So again, they must have meant 6 and 7. Scribed side out. Cut the steel liners for the bucket dumps from the card. Well, that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to cut these out first. So we have those, because we got to cut these things and glue them onto, I don't know what. Okay, so let me get a new one over here. That one looks like it's sharp. Get a little blade, straight edge here. Okay. This is going to be fun. I better put my goggles on. Alright, so there we go. There's the little, I'm not going to fold it right now. Yeah, kind of dinged up on the back of it right there. That's all right. This has a dual purpose here. The second purpose is digging the battery out of the little slot right there. Other than, you know, for narrow, measuring narrow pieces. Come on. Get out the thing. All right, there you go. Yeah, 1/32 is narrow. That's what a lot of the stuff is on here. And 1/32 should be 30 thousandths, I think. Yeah, but this is 60, almost 69 thousandths. So that's probably a 1/16 of an inch by 93 3/32. So that's the only thing that's close. So they made that a little bit thicker. Okay, so we're going to use that. So what is that's even thicker than the 16th, so that's a little bit thicker than the 16th. 60 thousandths to the 16th, and this is 68 thousandths. Let me see if the other ones are the same. Oh, wait a minute. Here's the 1/32. Oh, they were different. Okay. So this is a 1/16 by 3/32, and this one's even different. This is 52. This is 3/64 by 3/32. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3 different size things here. Okay, so I'm glad I measured it, because I would be cutting out the wrong thing. All right, so this is where we got to get that stuff from, right there. Whew. Yeah, these little plastic things here are squares, are also 1/32. These are 1/32 squares. Little shits right there. And that's the gap that's in between here where the cord goes. If you think 1/32 is narrow, I got some HO scale 1 by, let me see what it is, 1 by what? Let me see. Okay, these are 1 by 12s. Let me measure how thick that is. And the winner is, yep, 32 thousandths. So a 1 by is the 1/32. Okay, so them two. All right. Glue them in the bucket dump frames against the plate timber as in figure 2 and 7. Glue them in the bucket dump frames. There's figure 7. Bucket dump frames. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Glue them in the bucket dump frames. Oh, that's not that. That's not that. Does it go inside the bucket? Okay. Let's read this again. Glue these in place. Cut 2 bucket dump floors. So those are the bucket dump floors from 1/32. So 2 and 7. So this is 7. Oh, bucket dump floor is right there, going this way. And 2, let's see what 2, bucket dump floor. So that would have to be way back here. But you don't see a bucket dump floor here. Where is it? Block. Bucket dump frame. Okay, there's the frame right there. Boom, boom, boom. So the frame goes like right in here. So do we have to build that yet first? And there's the floor. Okay. Oh, so this is the bucket dump frame. Okay, so the bucket dump frame, that's what I thought that was these pieces here. Oh my goodness, I cut them wrong. They go up here. So let's see if we could salvage this, and we probably can because these are shorter. Whew. Oh my goodness. I misread it. So that would have to go like right in here like this. One that way and then one over here like this. Okay. Let's regroup and get this thing right. They did have it right, figure 2. I just didn't see the bucket dump frame up there. Okay, so we're going to have to cut this again. Okay, well maybe let me cut these out of here anyway too, away from this card. Okay. And you don't like wood kits, huh? Just because of that. Can you imagine doing a ship inside of a bottle? Using tweezers and shit? Well, I could probably put the first one in there like so. I just have to calculate where it is up on there, but you know, once you got it away from the drawing, you know, it's kind of hard to tell, you know, so it's right underneath the eaves, so you got to put it like right there and glue that into place, and then we'd have to come down and bring this one down because it goes underneath. Oops. And that's where you lose everything. And then have to bring this one over here. No, that's not the right way. This one here. Alright, let's take a look. Good look at this drawing right here. Bucket duck frame. Yeah, I can see it's dotted And it shows it goes behind this timber right here. So it's on the inside. So what's this piece of wood right here coming out here? Okay, so that's what that looks like right there. Glue them in the bucket dump frames against the plate timber as in figure 2 inches. Cut the steel liner for the bucket dumps from the card. Okay, so this goes on the inside. Inside there. Maybe that's it, like that. Holy moly. Any nut bolt washer casting on this kit? Yes, there is. Right there. That's coming up in the last part of it. Holy moly, how the hell am I going to get that on there? Well, I didn't realize how much the background music, not the one I added in the video, but the microphone over there was recording me, but I had music running over here, and it picked that up, and I didn't hear it when I was editing that, but I sure as hell could hear it on the playback, especially the bass on there. Sorry about that if you could hear that. There's Russ. How you doing? Patio looks nice, Tom. Let me see. I'm working on an extension for my front porch and doing my fence repair this summer outside. Yeah, all that outside work. Hotter than a witch's tit here today. Yeah, you got up to about 95 here. Yeah, it's all fun stuff. There you go. But what would you do if you didn't have it, huh? All right, so now I could show you what I've been doing since Monday. A little bit yesterday, and did I do anything? I think this is all from yesterday. Okay, so here we go. Well, last night on the Monday Night Live stream when we was working here, was trying to figure out what the next step was on D, where it's construct the buckets and bucket trip, and cut out the brackets and then the plate, steel plate for it, and couldn't figure out how I was going to get it in there, but I think I figured out. Let's see right here. Now I'm not sure, but I think this is where the plate goes like this. This is the only way I can get it in there, but this goes in after we put in these little brackets right here. But the brackets go, let me see how they go. It comes out like here, one this way and then one that way. So when I got one over here like that and one on the other side like that, this is going to be difficult getting in there. So we got to figure out a way to get it in there, unless I open this up and slide it in that way and then close it up. This is the only way I can figure out, because it says it goes on top of the fold lines and glue them inside the bucket dumps. The long, narrow flap fits on top of the plate timber to protect it from the wear of the coal being dumped across it. Now, this is plate timber right here. But I would think that, you know, it would be this back here, but that's not what the plate timber is. That right there in the middle is called a belt timber. And on the top, it doesn't really give it a name. On the thing, it just shows an X right here, but the X's are on these right here. So we'll see how that works. We're going to glue these into place and then see if I can get that in there. Okay, so I got the first one in right there. And I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to look like, because that's what it looks like on the drawing. Now I got to do 3 more of those. The one on the inside is a little bit more difficult because I have to clamp it in place, because it has to go around on one side of this and then on the other side. So it's like bent just a little bit. So I'm going to have to hold that in place till it dries before I put the other one in there. That's a little bit more drastic than the one on the end. I got the one on the end in place now, gluing it, and once these dry, I'll be able to put this one in here, the third one, and then I'll be able to put the horizontal pieces in, and then we'll go from there on these plates that go in there. Well, I was able to get the horizontal piece in on the end and hold these two into place at once. Now we just wait for the glue to dry, and then we'll be able to work on everything else. While that is drying, I'll cut out this last coal dump liner. It's on the card stock. There we go. The horizontal braces that go in the center ones, I made a little bit longer. I didn't use these short ones that I cut. I got some extra ones, and I cut them a little bit longer because they do not butt up against any verticals like they do on the ends right here. See, they hit on the ends right here. But in the center, they do not hit on these. They're on the side of it. So I made them longer so I can glue them on the side of that. So we got all of those in right here. Okay. Got it. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Well, I'm still having trouble figuring out where these plates go to protect these things right here, because there's a couple of different ways that they'll fit, but they don't make sense, because the bucket comes up in here like so and then gets dumped that way. So I'm not sure how, because and then they tell you to notch out the inside grooves on the track. Why didn't they tell you to do that beforehand, before putting all this stuff together? Because how are you going to notch out a little piece up here on both sides, and then put these little things, these L brackets, L pieces of wood, go along the inside of these horizontal pieces. And then there's a little 2x4 that runs on the top over here on the track right there as a trip to catch the wheel and push it out so it goes that way. So that is what dumps this, because it sits there like this, comes up like this. This is on the front track, this is on the back track. And then once it hits the thing, it dumps like that right here, like so. So where does where does this thing go? I mean, the only thing I could see is it goes on this side over here, because you can't put it inside here anywhere. Putting it on the outside doesn't do any good, so it'd have to be up in front here. So we'll worry about that later on. I cut the bucket frame like it says right here, and then I drilled holes in the first one, and then stacked them all together and just drilled through all of them, putting a pin on one end and then going through the other end right there with a number 76 drill bit. I'm going to scribe the lines on the bucket wrappers so they could be folded over top of the wood frames. Here's the wood frames right here, like so, and glue these in place like so. So I'll have to get the glue out and glue them in place like it says. Let's move these drills out of the way. I don't think we'll need them again, but we'll put them away after this step right here. Okie dokie, so all the sides except for the top, get a piece of glue on it. So what I should do is just take my T-pin, put it in the top, and then apply some glue to every side. Okay, we'll let those dry. Okay, so these things here, go like that. And it said later on, it says drill a hole in the center of this thing, but we're going to do it right now. because, oops, that's millimeters. It's 9/16. So we gotta go 9/32. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9/32 right there. And that went through pretty easily. So we'll just take this other one. Does that look like right in the middle? Yep. And put this up against it like so. Turn this one around because that's where the hole is. And get it. And there we go. A hole in the middle, that's for the thread. Okay, I glued together 2 bucket frames right there. And we'll have to assemble that and drill the holes through here when all that dries. Well, one of the steps on here, you know, looking down a couple of those steps while I'm waiting for this stuff to dry here, is glue this cleat to right inside here, even with the bottom of this 3/32 inch spacer right there. So it's straight across from that. And then these 3 pieces of timber, which is 8 by 10 and no 8 by 12 or 10 by 12 and 8 by 10, these right here. But these, that has to be centered, and these 1/16 inch apart between that, and then these shivs with the pillow blocks. I was looking for pillow blocks, but they're built right into the shiv right here, go in between there. This cleat goes up against the building. Okay, now these 3 pieces go in between this cleat and this 3/32 thing right here, going this way, and these go that away, and then the bearings sit on the bottom of it. Glue the 2 lower shivs with their pillow blocks on the undersides of the timbers, so they'll go, this will go on the undersides. Okay, I got it now. That's going to be a trick. Okay, I got it. Well, I got the cleat glued in, and I got the center one and the one on the right glued. I'll have to wait for it to dry before I put the left one in. And what I did was I put this shiv in here to make sure I had enough clearance on there for, and the pillow block bearings looked like they were sitting in the right place on it. So waiting for the glue to dry again. These are just about dry here. So it's the waiting game again. Okay, got all the bottom portion in there with the pulleys upside down in there, like so. Alright, we'll paint them accordingly by brush. Well, I had a mishap when I was putting in one of these pins and I broke the deal, so I'm going to have to glue it back together right here and up at the top also. It was kind of hard going in, and it just went and just cracked it. So I'll have to glue that back together. Well, I'll let that set up, and then I'll glue the pins in place. I got this one in here, but I just noticed these timbers that I got going across the back, they have to be on the outside instead of up close. So I'm going to have to take this off and put it towards the outside because the bucket will not go past it. On this one side, I cut the grooves in the front channel, and I placed scale 2x4 in there. And let me see, 2x4 is right here, right there. And I cut the hole in the channel right there. It wasn't too hard. I'm just waiting to do the other side after the glue dries on here. I just cut back the pins and super glued it in. So we're just waiting for all that to settle, and then we'll be able to put this bucket in here and then cut all that stuff out. And maybe do some paint. I think that's the last thing in this step here. Yeah, the next thing is build the loft house. So I'll just have to cut a two more 2x4s out of here. And I still don't know what to do with these things right here. I'm so confused about this. So if this comes up here and the bucket dumps, I have to give it a little bit more clearance for the top of this thing over here so I can get up there. Alright, I got the 2 buckets in. Alright, and I get this one up here in the dump position. We got the 2x4s angled over to force it over. I move this timber out right here so it would clear going down like so. And I also had to replace this one over here. I knocked it off and lost it, so I had to get me a new one. So the smallest details on this project right here has taken the longest time and is the most aggravating, but they work. So there's the dump right there. Although when it dumps, those angles are a little far away, so not very prototypical, but you know, you get the idea. We got it back in the track right there, going back down. But when it's tilting out, there's a lot of clearance there because the angles are set back a little bit too far. It could have been, you know, bigger, but they didn't make it that big. So that's it right there. You know, got the pulleys on the bottom. Just have to paint this stuff right here. I guess I could take these out. These have been annoying. They're poking me in the eye. Well, if I didn't have glasses on, they'd be poking me in the eye. But anyway, there it is right there. The 2 buckets in different positions right there. And then the pulleys on the bottom. Now I got to make the house up on top. Woohoo!
the end of the day, yeah. It's all that matters, oh, I pray. Just to feel good at the end of the day. At the end of the day. You gotta feel good at the end of the day. It's all that matters, oh, I pray. Just to feel good at the end of the day.
What a distinguished gentleman, and you got to be kidding me. I'm just an old fart, that's all. Yeah, highly detailed. Yeah, thank you. All right, so remember the West and Russ. I said this a little bit earlier. If you're having trouble with Rumble, you could contact support. And I put this up here. Let me put this up here again. If you're having issues with gaining access or buffering, freezing, or any other issue with Rumble, please send them an email to let them know what's going on. Use your email that your account was created with. If you don't tell them, it won't get fixed. support@rumble.com. All right. So, and because I sent them email to support at Rumble and support at Rumble creators, and they sent me an email back. Rumble support sent me an email back immediately saying that we'll get back with you within 24 hours. And in the meantime, here's a free month of Rumble Premium. So if you're having any kind of issue, please send support an email and let them know what those issues are, because I've been battling with them for the last couple of months, telling them how, what kind of issues they are, and and I told them about everybody that was having issues with it, and they finally came back to me and says, well, have them contact us individually, and we will handle those on a one-on-one issue like that. So Rumble, where's it at? Here we go. support@rumble.com. Send them an email. Let them know what issues you're having, when you're having it, how often it's happening, and so they could fix the damn thing. All right, so maybe you won't have issues with it after that. But if you don't tell them, they ain't gonna fix it. So, all right, so this last part of this thing was a bear. Let me shut the microphone off on that one so you don't get an echo for right now. Okay, so that took me almost all day to do right there. Yeah, I'm having trouble with time. Too many people doing live streams now. Yeah, I know. I could figure that out. Yeah. All right. So, okay. But I'm going to go over there in a second and start working on it again, so you can see what the could be a mass exodus of YouTube content creators moving over there too. Yeah, there is a lot lately, and they've been moving over for a couple of years now. I've been over here for 4 years. But anyway, send them an email and maybe you'll get a month of Rumble Premium for free. No ads, and then you'll be able to watch all the premium content, like Louder with Crowder. I don't have the mug here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See? You don't have to join Louder with Crowder. You'll get to watch all his Louder with Crowder exclusive stuff for included in the Rumble Premium and all the other stuff, because Rumble just started that a few months ago. Because there were so many creators that had like supporter things that they had to pay. Pay $100 a year to go on and get exclusive stuff. Well, you go on Rumble and you get all that included in the Rumble Premium. All those people that have the stuff for supporters. There you go. Yeah, Mug Club. Yeah, and even you could even get it through Mug Club too. But if you do it, get it through me. I'd get credit for it. Okay, so let's go over there, and I'm going to turn this mic off over here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this. And I'll put some music on, and I'll put it on a little lower. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Let's do it like this. Okay. Yeah, love Mug Club. Yeah. Go on to Rumble and get Rumble Premium. You could watch it for nothing. It's included in Rumble Premium. And Tim Cast, his members only stuff and a lot of other stuff. I put on a bunch of stuff on Rumble Premium. So let me go over there. Can you give a link, Tom? Okay. A link to what? Rumble or what? Let me see. Basically, all you have to do is go here onto mine, and you can get to anything on there. But if you want to complain, send an email to support@rumble.com. Yeah, Rumble. Yeah. Just go rumble.com. Go rumble.com, Tom Kovichak, and sign up that way. Just go on to one of my streams and say, hey, you heard it from me. All right, so let me get over to the workbench and do that. Yeah, there you go. That's fine. Let me shut this microphone off. Yeah, it's easier when I use your link. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So let me head over there. Okay, so I've been battling with this thing. Let me see. Let me show you. So this is what I've been battling with here. This thing here, you might have seen this in a lot of times. And where I figured it went originally is where it goes, but it doesn't actually fit the way they say it fits, because I had to modify it, because I had to cut out, notches on the bottom. And I've destroyed these, so I might have to make some new ones. This was the good one. This one's tore up more than that one there, but they go here. It lines the dump, but it fits perfect if these aren't in the way. They should have made it a little bit wider to fit in there, and they should have put the notches in the bottom, because you have to slide it in sideways like this. Right? Yeah, that's how I did it. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so another thing that I forgot to do is put when I was, doing all this shit, I forgot to do this up here. There's another support that goes right here that I noticed in the drawings. But these things work pretty good. They go up and down like that. And there's a little trip thing in there. The only thing with the trip thing, like I mentioned in there earlier, there's like a little L bracket in there, and there's a 2x4 that pushes this dump station up and tilts it forward, and those L girders are too far out. They should have made them thicker, either thicker or put another spacer in there, because they're up against this piece right here, and they only come out so far, like to about right here, but they need to come out all the way there like these tracks do, so the wheel could actually hit it. So I mean, it'll go over there and dump, but it's a little bit difficult to get it on the track and stuff like that. So what did I hit? Okay, it's a little tight. That one's a little tight on that side. Okay, well, it worked good last night. But see, it comes over and it'll dump right here. Okay, where's the thing? I gotta look for the little wheel in there. Well, it's not cooperating with me tonight, so okay, never mind. I'm not going to force it, but it actually works. I had it working last night. You get it up so far, and then, okay, there we go. It dumps like that. But see, it doesn't stay in the track. Yeah, so I'm going to have to glue this thing in there too. Okay. And I'm stuck on something. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's really tight right there. I might have to do that shave down that cardboard a little bit so it'll go through there a little bit easier. Okay, so the next project, I'm not going to do this tonight right here, but this is how they go. I might find some more cardboard and cut some new ones, because these are all falling apart there. But that's how they go, right in there like that. And they're supposed to represent tin or metal, some kind of metal, to protect everything when the coal dumps in there. That roof work with the lifted shingles is outstanding, Tom. Nicely done. Oh, thanks. Well, that's the way they make them, but they tell you to do it a different way. But what I did, when I showed, when I was putting them on, I showed you how I did it. They tell you to only wet the back of these shingles here, because they come in a little deal like this, like that, and you can see half of it is flat and half of it has the little lines in it to represent the shingles. And they tell you to take a paintbrush and just paint and wet the back of it and not the front. But what I do is I put it on a sponge and wet the whole thing, and then once it's on there, I'll go over the back of it with the burnishing tool, and that presses that down and then leaves the front back up a little bit more, so you get that effect with the shingles. So I got another roof to do with that. So right here, so that's this next part, and we got more metal right here, and then this thing here, I-beam drilling templates. I don't know where that is, but that's probably in one of the very last things to do on here. So we'll see. All right. Are you doing the after parties anymore? You know, for a while I quit it, but because when I became a premium creator, when I first got on there, they if I shut off YouTube and went to Rumble, it just went to Rumble Premium. So if you didn't have a premium account, you couldn't watch it. But now they changed it, so now that I'm doing it with RDMP, it's still Rumble Studio, but it's direct RTMP. I could shut YouTube off, and it doesn't do that. You know, it just stays on Rumble. It doesn't go to premium. So, yeah, I should start doing the after parties again. I mean, if more people come on and chat it up, you know, I'll do the after parties. But most, you know, most of the people just stay over on YouTube all the time. So I haven't been doing it. So the next one is Bag E. So that is the thing that goes up on the top. It says build the loft house. So let me move this out of the way here and read a little bit. Glue the 4 loft house beams in place, 8 by 10 by inch and an eighth long, on the top of the loft house supports and the bucket guide frame. They must be horizontal. If they are not, add shims to make them. You know, and I looked at that the other night, and I put this up against it, and I think I'm only going to have to put one shim in there, because I put this thing over here, and I only got one of them, and they're short. These all fit going across like that, and then this one on this end's short, so I'm going to have to put a little shim on that one there. And I keep knocking these doors out over here, and this one's almost falling out again too, because you know, you see it's so I didn't want to put them on, but since I put the house on the bottom, I wasn't going to put it on there, but I kept on knocking these things out, and I had to replace this one here because that one fell off, and then I couldn't find it, so I had to cut a new one. So I'll have to paint that one also, and I'll have to paint these over here and all the new stuff that I put on. This thing right here, as I did the other night, and I was looking all over the place for the pillow block bearings, and they're right, and the pulleys are attached to the pillow block bearings. On the last kit they weren't, they came separate. So let's open this bag and see what's in it. Yeah, I can put this over there so I can remember I got to put that on. Okay, so where's my cutting tool? Right here. Okay, here we go. Oops. Oh, I might have to sharpen this thing here. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this, what do they call it? The loft house. It's not very high. So there you go, right there. That's all there is to it, right here. Well, it goes like that. And for these are the timbers that go across. That one looks thinner. Oh no, these are the timbers that go across. They're short ones. Okay. And then these go, I think you got 3 going lengthwise. And one of these looks smaller. Let me see what they got. Well, no, just one's a little darker than the other ones there. That one's a little darker, huh? But they're all the same size, it looks like. They're probably 8x10s because they don't look like they're square. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. And here we have another, and this is a smaller square. I think that's square also. So these go on the top right here, but it hangs over. Yeah, it hangs over on the back. So I've got to glue all them across the back. Let's see what else is going on here. The bottom edge must be even with the bottom of the lower 3/32 square spacer in the bucket guide frame. Okay. Oh my goodness, I got the bottom edge in figure 3. Okay, I gotta find figure 3. Must be even with the bottom of the lower 3/32 square spacer in the bucket guide frame. So that's figure 5. This is figure 3. Lower 3/32 inch square. You gotta be kidding me. What are they talking about? You know, this is going to take me a long time to figure out. Glue 3 lower shiv timbers 5/8 inch long to the under frame. Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong. Okay, never mind. Disregard all that. I'm reading the old ones. Okay, I'm down here. Never mind. It's late. Okay, I just followed your Rumble channel, Tom. Thought I already was. Okay, thank you, Russ, for doing that. I really appreciate it. Be right back. I got to get dinner. Okay, all right. Okay, let me get on the right paragraph here. Okay, so when glue the top and loft house supports on the bucket guide frame, they must be horizontal if they're not edge shims. So see figure 1, 2, 3. Glue 2 shiv beams across the loft house beams, 8x10s as shown in figure 2 and 3. So glue 2 shiv beams. Okay, so these must be 8x10s here. But, okay. I'd take out the digital calipers, but digital calipers won't tell me. Oh, wait a minute. There's a conversion chart in here. HO, scale inches. So it's not even close. So 100 is 8 3/4 inches. So it should be like 93 and 10 and 7/8, 125. So it should be okay. So let's see exactly how much it is. 8x10 is. I almost forgot about this conversion chart over here. I was always looking at this one over here and trying to figure out what the hell's going on over here. Okay, so let's measure this stuff up. Put it on inches, zero it. Okay, 93 by 116.5. Let's see if all of these are the same. Yep. Yeah, it looks like all of these are the same. Nope, this one's a square one. These are 90 by 90. So this one's 87 by 94. So it's square, but it's not quite square. So these are the two 8 by 10s right here. Okay, so we got that right. So those are 8 by 10s. So we put these 4 on, and then these go across it in the center. Okay. We're just mapping this stuff out. It's shown in figure 2 and 3. So figure 2 and 3. This is figure 3 here, so this is going that way. Figure 2 will show you the other one up on top. So that's these two right here. Okay. Okay, so they go, okay, they'll go, well, up here. But once we have these pieces going that way, so the sheave will be right over top of this slot right here, because there's a slot right there for the thread. So that's going to be fun. Trying to get that centered there. So that's where they're talking about right there. And that's where the sheave goes, the pulley. So is there 1 or 2 pulleys up there? There's 2 pulleys up on the top. Okay. Now what? Okay, glue 2 sheave beams across the loft house beam 8 by 10 as shown in figure 2 and 3. Leave a space of a 1/16 inch between them for the sheaves. This space should be located over the guide track grooves away from the coal pocket. So that's what I was just talking about. Add the sheaves with their pillow blocks as indicated in figure 2. You know, the pillow blocks are up on the top side. So figure 2, this is figure 2. Doesn't show the pillow blocks there, but you get the idea. Okay. So they don't show it, they just show a plus over here, but that's where it is. So the cable will run down the center of each bucket track and back down between the pairs of X braces and spacers to the hoist house. So earlier I put, okay, I drilled a hole over here right in the center of these, there and there. So it has to, the cable has to come up here over top of the sheave and then come down the center here through that space there. Oop, can't see from the top. Okay, through there, and that's where I had these 1/32 inch plastic. 2 of them come all the way down, and there's the 2 pulleys on the bottom, so they match up to that one there. Okay, and then later on, I guess you got to put a plate in here because the thread goes inside, and this is the This is the hoist house, so I guess there's a motor inside here that controls all that, runs those buckets up and down. So that's what we got to do. Okay, check the location of the shoe so the cables will not wear through the center two loft house beams. Okay, cut 2 pieces of black thread, not in the kit, each about 20 inches long for cables. I was worried about that, and now I see it's not in the kit. Sometimes they provide it. Cut the steel cable plate from the card, and that's that little white card here. Cable plate. Cut the steel cable plate from the card and punch 2 small holes in the dots printed on it. Pass 1 thread through each hole and glue the ends to the back of the card. Okay, okay. Glue the card at the bottom of the rear of the hoist house. So that's this right here. Boom. So that you glue, poke holes in there, put the thread in there, and glue that right underneath here. So it's going to run over top of here, and then it's not going to actually hit the pulley because there's no grooves in the pulley. So it's just going to, we're faking it. We're just going to have to glue it in place, and then run them straight up through all of these right here. Oh my goodness, like, see if I can get this up in there. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm going to need my little gizmo to thread this shit. Well, I had it, there it is. Okay. So it goes up there like so, all the way up to the top. So I'm not going to push that all the way through because I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay, so glue the card at the bottom of the rear of the hoist house with the holes toward the bottom and with the card centered on the wall as shown in figure 3. Bring the threads up around the lower sheaves, gluing them to the rims. Pass the threads up the middle of the guide frames between the pairs of spacers and X braces and glue them around the rims of the upper sheaves. Okay, boom. Bring the end of each cable down again and fasten it to the bucket frame. Do this by passing it through the hole drilled in the center of the top piece of the frame and not the end so it will not pull out. So yeah, so what they're saying is bring it up over top and put it through that hole in there and then tie a knot in that little place over there. So, okay, you tell me how I'm going to tie a knot in there. So I'm just going to put it in there and put some super glue there. Tie a friggin' knot in that. Yeah, right. Note, the hoisting mechanism is based on the 2 buckets balancing each other so that only the weight of the coal has to be hoisted. This means that when one bucket is at the top dump coal, the other is at the bottom by being filled. If you wish to have them somewhere between, space them so they would pass at the midpoint of the guide frame. And that's probably what I'm going to do, is I'm going to keep them down here in the middle. Because after this is built and all that is done, we got to work on what's underground in back of this. You got that? Metric is easier. I don't think so. I use inches. If metric is so easy, why aren't there 10 hours in a day, and why aren't there 10 days in a week and 100 days a month or whatever? Okay. The loft house ends are cut to size. The sides must be glued end to end to make sides long enough to fit between the ends as figure 1. Make sides 2 and 15 long and cut the 2 pieces of the 3/32 square wood the same length and glue one on the inside of each wall and flush to the bottom edge. Glue the ends to the sides and paint the loft house. Glue shingles to the loft house roof as described and blah blah blah, and that's all there is to this one. So this one is a little bit easier than the last one. It's got a little bit more steps, but it's going to be a lot easier. I'm not going to do any of that tonight because I still have to glue this and paint all this stuff here. I got to get these things in here, and I got to find some other. Maybe I'll use the back side of this right here to cut out 2 more of these things because they are all messed up. Yeah, I could get 2 out of them because I'm going to have to cut them. I still don't know what these I-beam drilling plates are because it says that's a template. I-beam drilling templates. Where the hell does that go? It must be on the back somewhere. Where's the I-beam? I don't see an I-beam in here, but it must be. I bet you it's on the frame that's underground, or right at the. Because it's got the all the Dumaflachis in there. Oh my goodness. So this is all the stuff that so right here, this is the loft house, and then this is the rest of it. The bucket pits and coal bins right here, and that's this shit right here. And all that stuff goes underground. So that'll be back here on this end. So so it'll be resting on this stuff over here, and this hoist house will be up in the air, and you got to put it in a hole in your layout. Okay. Build the coal gate and chute. That's here. That's a lot. Coal gate and chute, and then build the ladders. So the ladders are going to be fun. Oh yeah, we got to put a small platform up there too. So, all right. So that's what I got to look forward to. So probably tomorrow I am going to cut some more of these things on the back of this and glue them in place right here, because this is where they go. But let me get this out of here. But they are in such bad shapes because I had to. I mean, this is worse. This is worse than the other one. I mean, it's coming apart. It's not going to look like very good metal when it's looking like that. So that's why I have to cut new ones. Okay. So that's the plan. And I might have to shave some of these off a little bit. Well, if I'm not going to dump it, we'll just stick both of these in the middle. I'll just figure out where halfway is and just leave them like that. It'll probably be like that. Or, I could put one up here and then one down here. Just like on an incline, when you got one car going this way and one car going that way, they're all on the cable and they go like this. And they're using the weight from each one of the cars. That's what this one does here. Okay. So that is the plan. Of course, when SAE is used, I have to convert it to millimeters. Is that for printing? Because usually everything on here is marked in inches. Even in HO scale stuff, they mark it in inches. Okay, so here's the two other shivs. And we got 4 pulleys here, a bunch of nut bolt washer castings, and there's a gear, and I'm not sure what that is and what these are here. And somewhere along the line we got to put more cleats on, because in the drawing you got cleats going across here, 3 of them here, here, and here, and then you got 2 more going across up here and here. So that must be in a step later on. So the only thing we're worried about right now is this area right here, and then coming down and putting that plate underneath there with the threads on it. Crap, I got that wrong too. What? Okay, yeah, me as well took all the research, but I know canoe is approximately 14 to 16 foot long, multiplied by 3.5 gives me the millimeters for the printer. There you go. All right. So that one's not too bad. But this is the front. That looks like it's a lot. So I don't see some extra sprockets in there. It shows 2 sprockets. These 2 shivs go up on top, unless they're in one of these other bags. Oh yeah, they're in the other bag. Look at those little shits right there. Oh my goodness. There's the 2 sprockets right there. Those things are so small. And we got a chain and some reflectors for the lamps, and all these little pieces of wood for this chute mechanism on the front. No wonder they make it last, because it's so delicate. And then this is for the underground stuff. Oh, and more of these wires. Oh my goodness, can you imagine that? I'm going to have to drill some more holes. And the other night when I was drilling the holes out, let me show you. Show you what I did. Okay. In these buckets, there's wood in there. They used that as a frame, and I glued them together. So I was on with the pin vise, and I drilled a hole down through it, and it felt like, you know, the drill bit loosened and went back up in the pin vise. So, you know, I took it apart, and I could not find the friggin' drill bit. So I had to put another drill bit in here. It was a number 76. So if I have to use the number 76 again, I don't know what I'm going to, because I had to use the number 75 for the rest of the holes. But it felt like it went in back up in there, and I took this apart. It's got, you know, it's 2-sided. And I took everything apart on here, and I could not find it anywhere. But anyway, the number 76 is probably only that long right there, you know, and most of it sits in the back. So it might be on the floor someplace. I don't know. I have no idea what the hell happened to it. It just like vanished. It went poof, and it was gone. Because I was it felt like I was drilling out and went like that, and I could see the little tip of it right there. So I started opening this thing up, and when I opened it up and shook it out, nothing. So I took the whole damn thing apart and still couldn't find anything. So that's my story of my number 6 drill bit. I'll probably, if I ever come over here barefoot, I'll probably find it stuck in my foot. Okay, so that is it. Hey, Rob. I didn't see your chat. I've been busy, and it was underneath everything. I didn't know you stopped in here. Storms here and no power, watching from the van on a tablet. There you go. That's the way to do it. It'd die hard. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the other computer right now. Okay, here we are again. Let me get the microphone over there. Okay, Rob, you might have missed this earlier. I did this. Wait a minute. Let me hold on a second. Okay, so boom. I got to move my mouse over here so it'll scroll over here. I'll find that bit when I'm not. That's how it always happens. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I got this. There we go. All right. So here's what I said this a couple times on here. If you're having issues with gaining access or buffering, freezing, or any other issues with Rumble, please send them an email to let them know what's going on. Use your email that your account was created with. If you don't tell them, it won't get fixed. support@rumble.com. I let them know yesterday what was going on with a bunch of users on YouTube that were trying to get over, and they were having problems, with buffering, so they stayed on YouTube. So I sent an email to support, and they said, okay, let them contact us and we'll handle that individually. So that's why I put this out here all day today. I got it in my description also of the video. And so take that. So, and anyway, what they did was as soon as I sent the email out, I got a response from support. One of the automated ones that says, someone will get back with you within 24 hours. But in the meantime, here's a 1 month free of Rumble Premium. So if you don't have Rumble Premium, go ahead and complain, and you might get a free month of Rumble Premium. But anyway, if you're having issues, let them know. Any kind of issues, contact support@rumble.com. The email, and use your email that you created your Rumble account with, and so it'll show up like that. Okay, so and Russ said he followed me, but I think you were already following me on Rumble. I'm pretty sure, because it didn't show up again. All right. So anyway, that's all I'm going to do on that tonight. I did enough. It's a mess. This next step isn't that hard. It's just a little house, and I have to get some thread off of Debbie again. I think I gave it back to her. I'm not sure. get the black thread and get it back and say, I need to borrow your thread again. But it's a really thick thread, thicker. In I was looking for something in between because she has the real thin stuff and then this really thick stuff that I used on the on that Woodland Scenics things, the Cole, Otis Cole Company. Okay, that's a great info to know. Okay, there you go. No problem. It said I was not weird. Well, I don't know. Yeah, because it usually shows up in my notification bell if somebody follows me, but I don't see it up there. So I think you were already following me, but what are you using as a username on there? Let me go into the dashboard. Okay. All right. Account overview is where it shows. Oh, there it goes. Rocking Russ. Okay. It shows it there, but I didn't give me a notification bell. I guess it only gives me a notification bell when I'm not online. But I went into my account overview in there. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Rocking Russ. Okay. But I could have swore you were subscribed to me before. You've been on Rumble for some time. Yeah, since 2023. Yeah, because I probably followed you when you first came on here. But that's weird. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna go over one other thing on here. Let me find what I'm looking for. Following and subscriptions. Okay. Follow channels. Okay, so I'm going to see. Okay, so the choices, you could, each person on Rumble that you follow on a bell notification, you can do none, instant, daily, or weekly notifications. So those are the four choices: none, instant, daily, and weekly. So there you go. So, and they'll contact you by email. Wow, that's weird. My YouTube is weird. When it's live, I show up as Remember the West, but when replay, it shows up as Streamline on YouTube. Really? Maybe that's your actual. Did you actually use that when you first started YouTube? Okay, hold on a second. Let me check here. Let me check something here. Go to channel. Yeah, because your channel's name is Remember the West, but you're at Streamline. Okay, let me pull it up on this side here. See, there you go. See, you're at Streamline, but your channel name is Remember the West. There you go. That's why it shows up that way. It's confusing sometimes. Yeah, because when in a chat, they quit using the channel name. They use the @ thing. And if if you had something different in the beginning, that's what it shows up as, or whatever. I don't know. YouTube's screwy. Instant notification are always instant either. I've seen them nearly 3 hours behind in some extreme instances. Well, I could see that, if they got a lot of people coming on doing or scheduling a video or a live stream, or going live on the spur of the moment all at the same time. It might take a while for all of the notifications to get out. Like if you got 5,000 people doing it all at once. Depends on how fast the computer is, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, it's more than what YouTube doesn't give you a choice. They tell you, I can't remember what they say. You have to have the cell phone app. You have to have your cell phone app on. You have to have the bell notification checked off that you want to be notified by way of your cell phone app, and that's the only way that you'll get notified. And even then, you may not get notified. So, because going back, I'd say 5-6 years, I've had people tell me that they thought I didn't do any more videos, and they'd come on and say, "Man, I haven't been notified for over a year," and that was going back 4 or 5 years. They thought I quit YouTube. And I said, "Well, that's how it goes. They don't. They're screwy. They don't notify anybody anymore." So that's my story, and I'm stuck with it. Okay. All right. So let me put these outro in here. There you go. Thank you, Jim. All right. I got to find my outro. Thank you all for coming in. I'll see you again on Friday. I'll be on Rumble on Friday. I won't be on YouTube again until Wednesday. But I got a video that I have to put together for the D-Land train show, the trains. So I got 2 videos to put together. So those will be going up. I'll put them up on Rumble, and then I'll put them up on ScrewTube there. Now getting ghosted on 3 live streams chats. Tom, I think YouTube is fucking with me. There you go. That's why you got to go over to Rumble and stay on Rumble. All right, so here we go.
We got some rail fans over there. Here we go.
Aboard the Fall Train. My name is Josh. I am working customer today. Also, your today on the train. Again, my name is Josh. I'm sitting on the CN rail, not the car. Also, please don't sit down.
I'll get a video of it.
Water tower.
All right, thank you everybody. See you all on Friday. Let me put this thing up here one last time. If you're having issues with gaining access or buffering, freezing, or any other issues with Rumble, please send them an email to let them know what's going on. Be very specific on what's happening, if you're using a web browser on a cell phone, what web browser, Android or Apple cell phone, all that good stuff. And use your email that your account was created with. If you don't tell them, it won't get fixed. support@rumble.com. Okay, there you have it. And one other thing, if you don't have Rumble Premium, maybe they'll send you a response and give you a free month of Rumble Premium like they did for me. When I sent in my concerns, they sent me an email back within a few minutes saying that somebody would contact you within 24 hours. And but in the meantime, they gave me a link and it said, here's a free month of Rumble Premium. So I already have Rumble Premium, so maybe they won't charge me for a month. Who knows? Well, we'll see. So thank you. And if you do send them an email, let me know if you get the free month of Rumble Premium, and let me know what their response is, and see if they could fix this stuff, because it's very concerning that they're trying to get better, but they need to know what all the issues are. So thank you again for stopping in. We'll see you